Well, hello, my name is John Narrowhead. You see, we at Narrowhead Studios have been very busy counting all this money, baby! Who knew making weapons people like, then selling them for 40% of a war bond is gonna make us rich? So how about next year we try a whole war bond for a gun, huh? You see, we at Narrowhead Studios have found a revolutionary way of making more money from you, the average player, that we don't really like or want, as we love our connoisseurs, but gosh diggity darn, don't you guys make for good pay pigs? Ooh, such cute little fellas. Hey Shams, cancel the roadmap, we're taking a year-long break. Woo! Ha 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 ha, rich people laugh, ha 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 ha. Okay, I'm done with the skit. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this situation with the Superstore, where I'm gonna begin with this simple thing. Everyone that knew Arrowhead's true nature saw this coming, and the more they do this, the more people are gonna wake up. But what did Arrowhead actually do? Well, you see, if you go to the Superstore, you are gonna see these items on rotation that seem to just be better than other weapons in their category. Or just simply, like the Impact Smoke, force you to pay an absurd price for something that should have been in the war bond to begin with. That's kind of the gist of it. It's unfair prices with clear power sell, while also being told that you can just farm super credits, man, you don't have to pay for it, from people that don't really have a job or just seem to live on a diet strictly of Doritos and Monster energy drinks. I'm sorry, but I'm not taking advice from you guys. First, let's see how we came to this awful situation. Well, that's simple too. We let the devs do this. The devs put the stun button in the Superstore as an alternative to the lance in the Urban Legends War Bond, and you see, the devs wanted to test us a bit. Were the Helldivers willing to spend super credits on a sword instead of a lance? They wanted to see if we were willing to do it. Were the Helldivers willing to spend just a little bit of super credits for a sword? And we, in our sweet innocence, accepted it. Even I at the time didn't really think much of it, I just thought it was cool. Those were the days, huh? When we still had hope. Let's keep going. They changed it with Servants of Freedom. Instead of giving us one more weapon to replace the one that's in the war bond, they wanted to see how we would act if we ever saw a weapon that wasn't a replacement for something that's already in that war bond. Most of the community reacted with passiveness. We didn't really care that it was there. We got it, and that was kind of it. It didn't stir up any people besides a very small minority that already went through this and knew this would happen since they already saw it with other games. Let's skip forward to the Force of Law War Bond when the game was still fun and I still had no issue with farming in the game. But the signs started to show, especially with the first ever gun in the Superstore. But besides the warrant, there was another item that was more controversial than it. It was the armor, because as usual, we had a demographic of people that wanted it nerfed for being too OP, and in all truthfulness, it was OP. But my question at the time was, if I gotta farm all day for an armor, why shouldn't it be OP? You see, that's what kinda started me on my path against the Glazers, because why shouldn't it be OP? But hey, you know what, I'm going somewhere else. Let's keep going. You see, back on the main topic, this was the turning point that we all kinda winced at, but we didn't really talk about it, or at least I didn't know anyone personally that had an issue with the weapon itself or the armor. But I believe we mostly didn't say anything because we all thought that Superstore weapons were gonna be cool gimmick weapons like the warrant. We thought most of the Superstore weapons that are gonna come were gonna be inspired by the movies that inspired the war bonds. As we keep going, the Dust Devil's War Bond came out, and this time it wasn't the Superstore item that got the community annoyed. It was the broken update that kinda set us back, and the oh so loved Coyote.
What did you change with the Coyote?
Let's see. Where is it?
Where did you put the Coyote?
Where did I put the Coyote?
Did you put it at the...
Oh wait, we didn't do anything.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
But interesting.
apparently we forgot to change the county. So
Right.
You already know the whole thing and what happened, so let's get to the Superstore item, just to give it a mention here. It was the machete that even now is considered one of the best melee weapons. I assume this was them trying to sell a better melee weapon to see how we would react to it. But that wasn't really the main attraction of the update.
That's so weird.
yeah.
Moving on to the double freedom, the devs with this one in my opinion wanted to see how we would react if we were sold better firepower at a very bad deal. Well, it worked. At that point we were so starved for firepower for so long that this gun felt like a cold glass of water in a desert. Hey, and everybody loved this weapon, me included. This and the maxi gun were the whole loadout for me when going against Illuminates. But having a med pen shotgun with good damage felt so weird. Because if you remember the early days of the Breaker, you know that the devs didn't really like having a Master Blaster around. So I guess, selling us a Master Blaster is better than giving us one for free, I assume.
The real challenges has been for us to maintain our integrity.
Then came the Redacted Regiment War Bond with the worst stealth weapons I've ever seen in my life. But the one thing that could have been a good addition to the War Bond was this item. And guess what? It was in the Superstore. At the time, nobody really cared about it being in the Superstore, and in terms of, oh, they're trying to sell us grenades now, they didn't really care, and I didn't really care as well because we were all too busy trying to tell the devs, fix the weapons and especially the C4. But as we've seen with the other patterns, they're gonna try and sell us a truly OP grenade one day. Speaking of OP things, let's get to the main attraction, shall we, lads? The Sweeper! This weapon came in with the entrenched Glazer's War Bond that they fixed before launch, so without the smoke and the mirrors of a bad War Bond to cover for them, this time the weapon was on full display for as many people as they could. And, as per usual, many people were asking for a nerf. Gee guys, I wonder who it is. But hey, again, if you gotta pay 400 super credits, $4 by the way, or a few hours of farming for the thing, it should at least be good. So what's my opinion on the whole thing? The clear power starvation, Warbond mismanagement as a smokescreen, and whatever else Arrowhead did, contributed to the devs reaching the point where they feel comfortable to sell us stuff like the Sweeper. Other than that, the fault lies with us. If we don't buy, they don't sell. Even though some could argue that the devs starved us of good weapons, and they are right on that department, we buying those weapons in our desperation has made the devs more blunt with their approach. And I can already hear some of you, but Greg, I didn't spend a single dollar in the game. All the weapons I have were farmed. And guess what? You staying in the game and farming for so long for all these weapons, guess what made the devs do? They went to a company, an investment company, and said, look at how many players we have, don't you wanna invest in us? But hey, what's next for the Superstore items, huh? Most likely an OP grenade or an OP secondary, and most importantly, the next type of weapon they're gonna try and sell us, the Superstore support weapons. You know what? Today I wanna take a risk. How about I make a prediction? By the end of next year, we're gonna have a support stratagem in the Superstore. If I'm wrong on that prediction, I gotta make a Fallout 4 video! But hey, let's get to the thing you have all been looking forward to. How do we stop them? Ha! You think you can actually stop this? The wheels have already been in motion, my friend. The Glazers are already preparing to protect their company because they need to make money, as in their words. Ah yes, the poor rich people. What can you do for them, huh? Such hard life they live, huh? But Greg, how are you so certain we can't stop it? Well, you see, my friend, there's a itty bitty little company called Tencent, a Chinese company that loves to put their little money grubbing hands on anything that could turn a profit, only being outdone by BlackRock themselves. By the way, I would love to tell everybody that I am not feeling suicidal. But anyway, back on topic, guys. Tencent got 15% of Arrowhead. And from what I understand, 15% gets you a place on the meeting board. So yeah, that's just another company trying to get some of that moolah of another company. One thing I can tell you for certain, Tencent did not have that 15% when the first weapon was sold in the Superstore. Overall, we can't really fix the situation, but hey, some people are still trying. Like the hackers that are giving away free super credits in game. Or they are using cheat engine just for themselves. I haven't seen any footage of it, but hey, that's one hell of a way to protest. But hey, I gotta be truthful with you, overall, we can't really fix the situation, but I enjoy the slow burning fire that is this game. Still, there's gonna be people out there that are gonna say, Greg, haven't you been playing Path of Exile 2? Greg, they're trying to sell you inventory slots, so why wouldn't you be mad at them like you are with Arrowhead for selling us weapons? Because Arrowhead plays at being the good guy while grinding gear games, they 100% know that this is a product and they need to sell stuff. Also, with grinding gear games, I'm never gonna be surprised by anything they do because grinding gear games never plays the good guy. Again, I would rather respect a businessman that tells me to my face you gotta pay for this, that and those, than an activist that pretends to have principles then turns around and sells you the Master Blaster after nerfing another Master Blaster after nerfing another one that happened back then and then telling you, well, actually we didn't really like having a Master Blaster, but we're gonna sell you one anyway. I hope this video was entertaining because I could use a like and a sub. Also, special thanks to the channel members: Jordan Ingram, Vinny Van Gogh, Smack, Estalorico, Cactus Man, Anata Shishek, Toxicity D-Days, PP Pux, 5 First Admiral Fez, Major Glazer, Titan, Doom Clash, Merc!